In this video, I'm going to look at the formatting options and how to use a table effectively in Google Docs. Now, I've got a table and I've got my 6 questions here. I've made a table that's got 6 squares in it. I'm going to put my questions into the squares. So first thing I could do to do that is I could swipe a question, I could right click on it, I could say copy, I could right click in here, then right click and paste. I could use the keyboard shortcuts for that as well. My other options as well, of course, I could go right click, cut, which gets rid of it, but puts it onto my pasteboard. So when I paste my subtraction question there. The other option as well is I could just drag, swipe over the one I want, make sure I've got all of it, drag it into the square I want. Select over it, drag it in there, drag it in there, and drag it down there. I could also use keyboard shortcuts if I wanted to, but whatever works for you. I'm going to get rid of this because I don't need any of that space anymore. And I brought myself up to the top. Now, if I want to format a table, at the moment, the formatting bar is empty because I've not clicked on the table. If I click on the table, it brings up my formatting menu up here. So I've got fill color, which means I can make the background of a cell a different color or a square. So if I click on that one, it makes that square yellow. Now, it's only done that square at the moment because that's the only one I've got selected. Similarly, I could also change the color of the border, make it into a red border. I can make it have a really heavy border. Again, it's only this square that's been selected at the moment. I could fiddle around with the type of border as well. Now, I don't like all that, so I'm going to undo those things. Take myself back to a nice white background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of the squares like this. And I'm going to go up here and I'm going to make the borders nice black. And I'm going to make them a bit heavier. I'm going to take them up to 3. So I've got nice clear lines between them. Now, formatting wise, I'm not too happy with this being split over like that. I mean, I could fiddle around making them line up. I want the question horizontal format. So I'm going to shrink the font of it a little bit. I reckon if I drop down to 14, that might be a bit small. So I'll take it to 18. That works quite nicely. I've got it in line there. Each cell can have a different font. It can have a different sizes. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to change these ones to 18, the addition and subtraction. Now I've got all my questions are on one line, which is a bit easier. I could just drag this size up a little bit as well. I can just drag this one up a little bit. That looks a bit tidier. Now, I could use the background colours quite effectively here. I could maybe think about just making it look pretty, or I could think, well, how hard a question is depends what colour it'll be. So I think that's quite an easy question. So I might make that a square into a red. I might think that that question's quite easy, so I might make that red. I think that one's getting a bit harder, so I could make that orange. It's orangish. I might decide that that one's somewhere in between. I could use the same colour, or I could make it a slightly different shade of orange. I've selected the border there by accident. Again, no problem. I can just go back. No need to panic. Change the border, make it orangey colour. Then I might decide these two, actually. I could do 2 at the same time here. Those 2 are quite tricky, so I'll click on that and I'll make those ones green. Of course, if I decide I really want to make things stand out, I can still edit my font. So if I go over here, I've got my font size. I've also got my font color. So I could change the text colors, make that into a white to make it really stand out. And there we have it. Quite quickly, I've formatted the table. It's mostly cosmetic, but it's quite an effective way of organizing and presenting information that makes it easy to see, and it's not difficult. I mean, anything more complicated, we're going to need to use sheets for. Anything with fancy cosmetics, we might want to go into something like slides, but it does the job, and that was quite easy to do. And it's a lot nicer than our original copy, which when we go into version history and look at, we'd see was just a list of questions. So that is making a table formatted on Google Docs.